up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Marauders. First things first, hit that subscribe button down below. Like, comment, share. Uh, this is going to be my top three option picks for the upcoming weeks. Um, so let's dive into it. So my first pick for the upcoming weeks is going to be Netflix. So let's type in Netflix. Um, Netflix currently has an earnings coming up. I believe their earnings is on the 21st of January. Uh, so it's pretty close coming up. So this is Netflix on the Robinhood app. If you guys don't have Robinhood, I'll place a link down below. If you sign up, I'll get a free share. You get a free share. So on Robinhood, you can trade options. So it'll just jumpstart you in beginning to trade options. I know there's some other uh, platforms out there that trade options. I think Tastyworks. I don't know if Webull trades options or not, but I know Tastyworks is one that a lot of other traders use. Um, I just prefer Robinhood because I've had it for so long. So that's what platform I use. But jumping back into this, uh, so for me, I would say, if I was going in trade options, I'd probably do an option around the 24th. And if we look into the Robinhood app, the 24th, uh, they got some options out here. For an option, I would probably do a call if I was doing an option. The current price is 229. Some of these are a little expensive, but you go up. Some of them are a lot cheaper. Um, and it's just because the strike price is so high. But I definitely put in a call uh, for Netflix. And going into Netflix price, if we look at their 6 month chart, Netflix is uh, basically been since around September. Yeah, since around September has been climbing. Uh, it's been a steady growth, but everyone knows around earnings, stock prices always climb a lot higher, and they also climb, you know, after earnings. And since the earnings is on the 21st, and that uh contract ends on the 24th, you have that buffer for people to react and the market to react to their earnings. So I do believe it's going to keep going up. Uh, if we go back to July, it was up at like 380. Now it's at 329. So I believe that it has the possibility to go back up to 380 after earnings. I think, you know, that Netflix is doing a really good job in what they're doing and how they're marketing. And if we dive into some of their financials, this is their quarter 3 returns. It says that they grew 5.2 billion in revenue, which is up 31% over the prior year, and operating income doubled to 1 billion. So you look at those numbers; it's always a good thing. Uh, see the company growing. If we see their track of revenue, their Q3 2018, Q4 2018, Q1, Q2, and Q3, the revenue has increased. And for their forecast revenue, it has 54, 42, which which is always a good thing. Their numbers are steadily growing, and I think that the more that the numbers grow, the more profitable basically the company is. So I think that should be reflected in the stock price. And when people, see it and are reminded of that, then I think the price is going to go up. So Netflix is definitely one that I would have my eye on as a call for the price to rise right around earnings. So the earnings the 21st, probably have a call or a call contract to go out the week of the 24th. So that gives it, times for earnings. It's probably going to rally around earnings, and then they'll have earnings. And if it beats the earnings projected, it's going to go up even more. So, to me, I kind of look at it as a win-win, and their financials kind of backs, what they're saying in terms of the company's growth. So going to our number two pick, uh, that's gonna have to be Apple. So going in here looking at Apple. Apple's been on a pretty good run. Let's look at their 3 month. So their 3 month, you see it's gone from 236 all the way to 310. Um, Apple's definitely one I keep my eye on. Uh, One of those that is really good. Um, Apple has an earnings coming up on the 28th of January. So I think it's the week after Netflix earning. So I would definitely put out a call for Apple. Um, so if we go to trade, um, we go to on here. We don't have the week of February 1st, which would be the end of that call for. I mean, which would be the end of the week for that option um, on the week that Apple's earnings is. So February 7th would be the closest one to it. So I definitely put a call out on Apple for February 27th. I mean February 7th. Um, Moving forward, and with their growth, you can get in on a pretty good price here. I know these are not stagnant prices, that they'll continue to move, but you're basically predicting that out in the future that it's going to grow to that, and I believe it will. Apple's had just this tremendous growth throughout, and I think they're going to continue to grow. Their quarter coming up earnings is going to reflect some of the Christmas boom that's happened. So that's always a pretty good metric to have under your belt when considering a company because the valuation always goes up. Excuse me, valuation always goes up. So you have that price, you have the sales increase from the sales for the holidays, um, and that will just help revenues go up as well. So this is their fourth quarter results. It's October 30th. The company posted quarter revenue of 64 billion, an increase of 2% from the year ago quarter. The quarter end per diluted share is $3.03, up 4%. So going over here, revenues between 85.5 billion and 89.5 billion. Uh, Gain margins of 37.5% and 38.5%. So I think Apple in general is doing really well. Their financials look well, and I think when their next quarter comes out, that it's definitely something to look at their growth. And I think when people see their growth on paper, that it's going to make the stock price go up. So I definitely would put a call out for Apple, uh, saying that it's probably going to keep going up. Will it do, Tesla numbers and go up that fast? I don't think so. But I think the growth still will be significant in that point. Um, and with this call, you actually have an extra week to wait for that to happen. So, instead of February 1st, you actually have February 7th, where the call, it'll be like an extra week added on to that. So, having more time for your contract to be isn't always a bad thing. It'll just be more time for it to appreciate to reach that strike price. So, that was my number two pick. So for my number three pick, I'm gonna say it's Facebook. Um, in my opinion, Facebook is doing pretty well. If you look at its 3 month, it's been just steadily growing. Kind of peaked out here at 218 and kind of. Yeah, it kind of has peaked out here at 218. Uh, but it also has the earnings coming up on the 29th, so the day after Apple's earnings. It's going to be uh, Facebook's earning. So, that's definitely one, in my opinion, to keep your eye out on for a trade. I'd probably, this one was kind of hard to pick, whether you do trade a call or a put on, but I definitely put a call out on this because just the amount of people who are using Facebook has increased, and I know their ad revenue has increased as well. So if we go to February 7th, um, some of the calls out here they don't seem unreasonable in price, but these are not stagnant values, and the price will change on these. Uh, just like the other one, there's none on here on Robinhood for February 1st, so you have to go with February 7th. So if you get the Apple and the Facebook call, you'd have to do the February 7th ending contract. So if we go into look at Facebook, um, it's kind of beat where it was at 204 in July. That was its highest before it took its, was this about a 3 month dip. And then around October, it started to bounce back up, and it just kept growing. So, you know, that's always a good thing to see growth like that, especially over a large amount of months. So, going into some of Facebook's financials. So their third quarter 2019 results, it shows that their revenue, advertising, increased 17,383, which is 13,539, which is a 28% change. Their payments and other fees, the 43% change. Total revenue, 29% change. Total cost and expenses, a 32% change. Income of operation, 24% change. Um, but this is the metric that I was looking at the most. The DAUs, which is their daily active users, uh, were about 1.62 billion on average for September 2019, which is an increase of 9% year over year. And their MAUs, which is the monthly active users, were 2.45 billion as of September 30th, which is an increase of 8%. Um, in my opinion, that's a really good metric because it shows you that the amount of users are increasing. Um, it's not stagnant. It just shows you that more people are using um, Facebook more than ever, and I think that number is going to continue to grow. Um, Also, it has a metric on here. Mobile advertising revenue represented approximately 94% of advertising revenue for the third quarter of 2019, up approximately 92% of revenue in the third quarter of 2018. So, you know, uh, I think that it's going to continue to grow. Facebook for me started off as like, it was just a lot of young people using it. Now it's a lot of older people using it and young people. Companies use it. And also, it's like one of the number one ways to advertise, businesses, products. Between that and Instagram, I think, those are the two main forms of advertising out there now if you want to reach a lot of people, and companies know that, and I think we're not going to see a lack of people using um, Facebook. I think the number of people is going to continue to grow, which just basically means their revenues are going to continue to grow just on the fact that they have more users. um, so I think once they come out with this new earnings that comes out on the 29th, then I think we'll be able to see, how many more people are using and uh, what their actual, revenues are going to be at that point. And I think the number is going to um, be really good when those metrics come out. So those are my top three options that I would say look for in the future. Keep your eye out on. Uh, you know, I think options trading is, the more information you have, the better you are equipped to make, moves trading options. Sometimes it can be really tricky, but try to get as much information as possible. Go and research some more about these different stocks like Netflix, Apple, and Facebook. Do your own due diligence. Make sure you look into news articles that are coming out about what the company is doing. Those always help when it comes to making a decision on what you should buy, and then research good strike price. You don't want to buy something that's so far out of the money that it's just unobtainable. I know a lot of people did that with Tesla in the previous week. They bought like ridiculous values for it to go up, but I don't. It didn't reach that. So, always research into what is a good price to enter, and what realistically you think that you can uh, that it can get to. Also, don't go out and spend tons of money on it as well. Uh, Try to find it at a good price. Basically, trading options is basically like shopping. You have expensive stores and then you have like non-expensive stores, but you got to find the best bang for your buck when it comes to options trading, because you don't want to pay too much for something uh, and it just be like a ridiculous price, because some of them don't directly reflect realistic value. So just do your homework, do your due diligence, try to start off small when you enter. um, and I hope this video helped you guys. Make sure hit that subscribe button down below, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.